Alright, we're back. We do not want to play first. This is actually pretty good. No, we don't want a mulligan. I was going to say no red mana, but we just need to draw one land, and we have our manalith up. And we have the turn 2 companion. I did watch these guys' replays, but I watched them right after that first match, and it ended up going on for like half an hour, so I don't even really remember them now. But I did see that none of the games I watched did any of the guys play any big bombs, which is pretty good. I know one of the guys I watched, it might have been this one, had some hexproof guys and enchantments. So, or auras, I should say. Alright, well there's the mountain. Cool. So we will run out our companion. If he doesn't play a guy, we hit in with it and then Blood Ogre. Even if he does play a guy, I guess it depends on what he plays. Alright, if I remember correctly, this guy did have a Doomblade and an Arachnus Web. Now the question is here, do we run out the Manalith, or do we run out one of these little guys so we can get the Blood Ogre? I think the Manalith is to call here, just because that way... Oh, actually, wait, what am I talking about? We can Manalith and then run out one of the little guys. I always think that this comes into play tapped, which it does not. I was going to say that if we ran out the Manalith, then we can get the Cudgel Troll next turn. Well, would you look at that? Well, that's not terrible, I guess. Alright, here we just ping him for 1 and run out a Blood Ogre, followed by a Goblin Arsonist. This is probably the fastest hand we've had so far, which I guess is good because this guy doesn't have a whole lot. We can start hitting in with the Blood Ogre, and then it gets Doombladed, so we can't. But he can't really attack us because I would just block with the Arsonist and get a 2 for 1. Him wasting a Doomblade on a Blood Ogre is very good, though. It means that he probably doesn't have a lot in his hand. Another Sacred Wolf. Alright. That's fine, but doesn't really do anything for me. And I'm just thinking if I have a way to pump this guy. I do have a Titanic Growth, so yes, I do have a way to pump it. Can't act of trees in these guys, unfortunately. Can't fireball them either, so I guess we will just run out a Troll and pass the turn. And I can start hitting with the Troll and just regen it after this. And hopefully he doesn't have another Doomblade. Yeah, he used his removal very early, which probably means he either was afraid I was going to... Really? He's going to attack here? That seems wrong. I'll take 3 damage and kill your wolf and your elf. He's got to have some kind of a pump spell. No? Alright, well that was a pretty good trade for us. And then we'll ping him for 1. Unless he has some way to get them back, which being green-black, he definitely could. Bats, which I am definitely not afraid of. Let's see, if I active treasoned it here and hit in, that would be 7, putting him down to 11. He would be pretty low. Although I think the play here is to just attack. No. Attack and then throw down the satchel. Maybe blocking last turn, the wolf with the fire slinger was correct. Because I think, like I said, I did see troll hides out of him, and if this gets troll hided, then it is just going to be a pain to deal with. I'm pretty much just going to have to leave my troll back. And hopefully at some point I hit some more lands, and this doesn't end up being a repeat of our first game. Well, that's kind of annoying. Killing my satchel would be my guess. Yes. Fortunately, that's really not that big of a deal. Yeah, I'll ping you, sure. I think at this point I just have to leave the troll back to block. I'll be taking 2 damage a turn, but that's not that big of a deal. And this fireball could get him pretty quickly. If I can run out the dragon next turn, I can hit in and then just try to active treason and fireball him for the win. The turns after that. Let's see. I could... No, I'd need a lot more mana to kill both of these with the fireball. Alright, so I will just hang back. I'm not too worried about his Dusk Hunter bats. It's only pushing through 2 damage a turn, which really is not that big of a deal. And my Cudgel Troll holds the ground pretty well. It's funny, I was just watching someone that did a draft of Zendikar Worldwake, I think it was. And just off the top of their head, they were saying some of the things they remembered about it, and that green was the weakest color, which I think is kind of funny because people say that about this set as well. Although there's actually quite a few people playing green at this table. Alright, well, here we go. He could have another Doomblade here. Other than that, I really don't know what he could have. I don't like not leaving regen mana up, but not a whole lot I can do about that. Looks like no, he's got the plummet. Alright, he's mainboarding that, huh? That's cool. And I'm tapped out, so he can swing in next turn. If he attacks with the wolf, I just block with the fire slinger and then ping him. And I mean, he'd only be pushing through 4 points of damage, so it's still not a lot. I don't know, maybe I should have been attacking with the Cudgel Troll. Yeah, I probably should have, just because I do have the active treason and the fireball. Alright, that was a very good attack. Figured he'd probably have a combat trick there, but I would have traded 1-for-1 anyways, and it still ended up a 1-for-1. So I'm perfectly fine with that. Alright, here we active treason his slime, hit in for 6, and then that makes fireball lethal, I think. He'll be at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, it does. On the backswing, he'll hit in for what? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if he doesn't have another pump spell, that will be the game. Wish I had Fling right now, but unfortunately I do not. If he has another Titanic Growth, this could be the game. Or I should say the match. No, the match would be... I always get those two confused, whatever. You know what I mean. Alright, so he does decide to attack with everything. I don't think he has a Titanic Growth here, just because he was thinking on whether or not he should make that attack. If he had the Titanic Growth, he probably would have just done it straight out. And he's running out his last card here. And we just fireball to the face for the win. Sure, why not? Make this as big of a blowout as we can. Alright, and got there. And look at that, we had all action coming up, and I think we even had, yeah, we had enough mana to play our Carnage Worm. So that doesn't do us anything. Autumn's Veil does, though. We definitely want that for his Doomblade. We want to take out what? We took out what last time? We took out the Titanic Growth. I think that's still the right choice. I think we want the Naturalize as well. Taking out the Satchel because he has a Slime. Plus, I haven't been too impressed with this. It's just been too slow in our deck. So this looks good. We'll be back in a minute.